Today we are going to make bread in cooker. That's right, we are going to make a bread in cooker. It's very easy guys, very spongy as you can see right now. And it is absolutely perfect for any sandwiches or eating just like that. So why are we delaying? Let's begin. Let's begin the recipe. In a bowl, add 1 cup of hot milk, which is around 240 ml. Now we will add about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. Now stir this until the sugar is dissolved. After the sugar is mixed, the milk should be warm now. Mine is lukewarm. If it is not, let it sit for a few more minutes. Now it's the perfect time to add the yeast. Here I am using 2 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast. Add it in and give it a good mix. Now we will keep it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes in a warm spot for the yeast to proof. It's been just about 3 or 4 minutes and you can see the yeast has started doing its job. Looks frothy. If your mixture is not frothy like this, even after 10 minutes, you have to start again. Now let's make a dough out of this guys. In the same mixing bowl, I will add 310 grams of maida or plain flour, which is about 2.5 cups. 2 tablespoons of milk powder. Milk powder makes the bread very tender guys, do add it, and we will also add 2 teaspoons of salt. Never add salt directly to yeast guys, it will kill it. Yes, you heard that right, if you add salt directly to yeast, the yeast will die. Adding it over the flour is fine. Now we will give it a good mix to form a dough. Here you can see the dough has started forming and it is looking good. Now I will transfer it to a platform. To make a good bread, the dough needs to have a lot of moisture and it needs to be very soft, almost paste-like. Here you can see I have started kneading the dough and it is looking like a paste, which is perfect. Now we have to knead it for about 10 minutes. Feel free to use a scraper in between to make sure it does not stick to your hands or the surface. This is the most crucial step of making a good bread. Feel free to add more water if your dough is not like this. After about 10 minutes or so, you can see the consistency has changed completely. It looks good. It has turned into a dough now from a paste. Now we will apply some butter into this. Here I am using 1 teaspoon of butter. That's right, only 1 teaspoon, and then start kneading it again for few more minutes. The dough is ready guys, as you can see it looks great. Now we will prepare a bowl. I am applying some butter in the bowl so that the dough does not stick to it. Now we will place the dough inside the bowl, cover it with a damp cloth and let it rest for 1 hour. What will happen in 1 hour? The yeast will do its magic by fermenting the dough and increasing it to double in volume. Now we will grease a bread tin. Here I have a bread tin which is of 18 cm in length, 9 cm in height and 10 cm in width. We will grease it really well with some butter. Otherwise the bread will stick to the tin. Do not skip any corners. I am also greasing the lip of the tin. The tin also comes with a cover. I am greasing this lightly so that we can use this cover to cover the dough. So alright guys, the bread tin is ready. Now let's get back to the dough. It's been an hour, so let's check. Yes, double in volume. We will take this out and puncture it. Now we have to shape the dough in a log, similar to the bread tin's dimension. Make sure the dough is very smooth and crack free, otherwise your bread will have cracks. You can pinch it and make it smoother. The dough is ready. Now I am transferring it inside the bread tin. Now you can cover it with a damp cloth or its cover. So here I am using the bread tin's cover and I am keeping a little bit of the area open so that we can check the bread. Now keep it aside for 1 more hour. After about 40 minutes or so, we will start preheating the cooker. Here I am using a big cooker. You can use any cooker or any utensil which is of a good amount of height and size, which will ensure even cooking. Basically, you can try to put your bread tin inside the cooker. If it fits and has some space on top, you can use that utensil. Inside the cooker we will add some salt. Here I am using 1 cup of salt. Yes, regular table salt, and 1 cup in quantity. We will spread the salt now. and increase the height. What do I mean by that? If we place the bread directly, it will burn. For the same purpose, you can use a wire stand, a katori, a bowl, or even a cookie cutter or a ring cutter. Today I am using a ring cutter for this job. We will cover the pressure cooker and let it heat for 10 minutes in high flame. After that you can lower it. Please make sure there is no gasket or whistle. It's been almost 50 minutes that we kept the bread. The bread has well proofed and I have opened the cover as well. Now we will apply a good layer of milk. Milk has some fat and some sugar naturally present which will help to make this bread brown. You can also use some sweet water. Let me show you the bread again. You can see how the bread has started increasing in height from the sides. It's looking good. I will also sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds. Adding sesame seeds is totally optional. Now we will wait for 5 more minutes so that it can rise a little bit more. If you don't rise your bread enough, the bread will crack inside the cooker. Basically, if a bread is under risen, it will crack. If it is over risen, then it will deflate. The cooker is hot and the bread is ready. Now let me open it and place the bread inside. Quickly cover the cooker and lower the flame to medium high. We will bake the bread for about 30 minutes. I'm opening the cooker after about 20 minutes or so. The color is very light, so what I will do is apply some more milk in the bread. Adding more milk on top will ensure we get a very nice color. Quickly cover it again and bake for 10 more minutes. Low flame means more cooking time and dry bread. High flame means less cooking time and very moist bread. 30 minutes is the sweet time for a bread. 30 minutes are up and the bread is also baked. We will take it out now. Be careful, it will be piping hot. I am wearing oven gloves in both hands. Here I am placing the bread in a rack so that it can cool down from the bottom as well. Now we will apply some butter in top of the bread so that it gets very soft from top. Look at that shine and color, doesn't that look great? We will take the bread out now. You just have to flip it and it will come out naturally. That is the magic of even baking. The bread looks great guys, isn't it? To make it even more softer, what we will do is wrap it in a damp cloth. I know it's very tempting to slice it right now itself and enjoy it, but it's very important to let it cool down. It's been 2 hours that I wrapped the bread in the damp cloth and it should be ready now. Here you can see the bread is very soft and spongy. The bread is ready. Let me take it out and it's the happy time. What I mean is we can slice the bread and enjoy now. To slice the bread, today I am using a serrated bread knife and you have to cut it in this motion. It is very difficult to cut a bread with a regular knife guys. So try to use a serrated knife. That's the heel of the bread guys, and still see the texture. Doesn't that look perfect? The bread again is very soft and spongy. So similarly I will slice rest of the bread. With this recipe you will be able to make around 11 to 12 slices of bread. Again, that depends upon the thickness that you want. Let me also show you one more bread that I made yesterday. Let me slice this one as well. Perfect. As you can see, this is a foolproof recipe. I have made it dozens of times just for you. So try it out at home and share with me how it goes for you. Now let me show you how good this bread is by toasting it. I am toasting the bread in a tawa. Here you can see the color is great, isn't it? Let me butter it and have a slice.